Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I have the blank, which is great. I also have the Z and the X, which are good tiles. I don't think I have a bingo here, but it's a pretty good opening rack. The O goes well with both the X and the Z because of Ox and Zo, and either of those is going to leave a good rack leave. Through an A, I can get rid of the Z and the X, but I wouldn't want to keep two O's. Quite a few floaters to consider. Urine takes an M and a P at the beginning. No vowels next to premium squares for my big scoring tiles. So, where to play? Quite tempting to get rid of both O's. And I can do that with Oxo for 25 points. And I think that's the best I can do. Well, not great. As soon as you have the blank, you're looking to bingo. But this isn't a bingo rack. And it's really the K with the Z which is thwarting my bingo efforts. However, early days and opponent has only a 4-point lead. Eth takes an E after it, but it doesn't take anything I've got. Nor does 1. Just wondering if I can get my Z tripled. I've got an I and A for going underneath H. So a play would need to begin AZ or IZ. Can't see such a play. Now what about coming down column 5 through OR? Can't see anything. KOR is good. Just wondering if I can get my Z tripled. Can't see a way of doing that. I could play Zig and Gore, but that's not scoring very much. Zone is good. So I could play Zig here. 26 points, not great, but the rack leave is quite good. And I was never going to be able to play off the Z with the K. Or I certainly hadn't seen a way of doing that. Is this really the best I can do? And I'm mainly looking at column 5. I feel there ought to be something with the Z or the K through OR. But I'm not seeing it, and I think this is probably just about okay. Now, that looks much better. Surely there is a bingo here. I'm going to look for 7s. Well, I have Matokes and Murin in column 3. And that also plays in row E, making my and Ag. As well as row J, making zones. Wow, I now have a double lane to consider with the A. If I can't find a bingo there, I do have Matokes in column 12, which gets doubled and also gets the K doubled, so that's pretty good. And also a double lane for a 7-letter play in row K. And that looks promising and will score more than column 11. So let me have a look for 7s. Matokes does not play in that spot. HOK not good. I suspect there will be some other 7s. Not seen anything yet. Cathodes through a D. Hotcakes through a C. Now, Scatole doesn't work, but I think there's an anagram of scatole. But what is it? Or maybe it's just scatole with a C that has the anagrams. That's Matokes. 15 minutes on my clock. Wow, that looks promising. Qataris. Again, just fails. HOR, not good. That looks promising. Okay, now am I likely to find a double-double with the A in penultimate or anti-penultimate position? Just wondering if it's worth my time looking for it. I don't think it is. So, let me see what Matokes scores. 86. I'm going with this. Awful. Absolutely awful. 6 vowels, including 3 A's and a U. But I do have a 90-point lead. Now I'm just back from a fantastic tournament in Israel. I arrived back in the early hours of this morning. Absolutely superb tournament up in Akko in the north of the country. And many congratulations to local player Evan Cohen, who won by 2 clear games. 29 points for wit. So what to do here? Well, I've got AUA on my rack. And I could play that above Zig. Just wondering if I had Aurori for a moment. I don't. Well, I think this scores more. 11 points, and this is just about better than changing. Pretty good. That looks close to a bingo. I don't think there's a 7 here. Probably a few 8s through the right floater. Roquet still pretty hot for a double-double. My lead only 70 points. Auer takes a P in front. I don't think Hadrone is good. Opponent takes out that super hot double-double lane. I don't have any front hooks for urine. Now, I have a D for making zoned. Still one blank to come. Just wondering if I can get my H tripled. And ozone is good. So, do I have a play in row E? Which could end OD or OH or ON. Not ON. Well, not seeing such a play. Now, what about a play in row L? Underneath wig, E goes underneath how. And A and O both go underneath ag. Let me see if this helps. I'd like to get my H here. Heron doesn't work, so what goes under BI? Well, D or D and N. Not seeing anything there. Let me take this back. What about a play running through KI? Not seeing anything. Possible 3-letter front extensions for urine. I can think of Sky Urine. Not aware of any others. DOH would leave quite a nice rack leave. 26 points, pretty good, especially with this rack leave. I feel there's something a lot better. Hoodiernal through an I and an L. This doesn't feel great, but I think it's okay. I think it's okay. Fantastic, absolutely magnificent tile drawing on my part there. Stander and darts, Starned and Darnest. Darnest plays in column 14, making out. Ow not taking an S. How does take an S, so I am definitely bingoing. Fantastic. Starned. Well, I was going to say would play in row J if O zoned is good, but I don't think it is. Opponent has not provided any new opportunities for me because a play in row M won't get doubled. Anything in column 14 is going to open column 15. Not great. So I think it is row L for and darts for 78 points. Yep, 78 points. Pretty good. I'm 130 points in the lead, and although this rack is not bingo-y, it's got a lot of scoring potential. F and Y go quite well together because of FY. For example, I could play Phi, Yum, and Far. 18 points, not massive, but I've also got it underneath E and N of N darts. Phi, F, and Ni. For 31 points, pretty good. And darts has obstructed the urine front hooks. I don't have anything through KI getting tripled. Orc takes an S and an A after it. What else is available? Well, I think the big spot is row M. I can't see a way of getting rid of F, Y, and Y. But that's not a problem because the Y, retaining the Y, will be a guarantee of score next go. Wow, bingo by my opponent. So my lead not as comfortable as it was. Just 60 points. I'm immediately drawn to column 1. So I can play Airy. Let me see what this scores. For 30 points, which is pretty good. The rack leaves pretty good. F not bingo-y, but nor is the Y, and I wasn't going to get rid of all 3 of those big tiles. I am opening up a bingo lane in column 2, but that's fine. I may benefit from it myself, because this rack leave is pretty bingo-y. In fact, this is the last S, and there's only one blank to come. And 30 points is a good score. But can I get my Y or my F on this double letter square? Not sure that I can. No, I can't see a way of doing that. So, Airy for 30. Fantastic. That looks very close to a bingo. I have Fetials and Sea Lift, both of which play in column 2. Sea Lift plays in column 14, making out. Do I have it anywhere else? Playing Sea Lift in column 14 will create a triple lane, which I don't want to do, especially with a blank out there. So I think my preference would be to play it in column 2, where it starts on the second square down. Fetialis through an I. and filly eights. Well, I think that exhausts the bingo potential from this rack. And C-lift, if my opponent doesn't bingo now, even though there are 30 tiles in the bag, I think C-lift is going to give me a commanding lead, which I should be able to hang on to. Just wondering if C-lift or Fetials can play. Ah, well, I've got Fetials, Owl, and KIS. Opponent goes in that spot. V doesn't take anything in front. But look at this. I have got C-lift and Kids, which has a tiny amount of danger in that C-lift takes an S and there's still a blank to come. But 110 points is massive. I was waiting to see the blank appear and it hasn't. 52 for my opponent, so 16 tiles left. And wow, I've got Ganoin. Fantastic. So excited about the prospect of getting the blank for C-lifts that I overlooked. I had a bingo on my rack. Is this the best spot? No. Well, that's 72. Let's see what this scores. 82. Anything better than that? And do I have anything ending on the T? Don't think so. And it's great to be playing off 7 tiles because that maximizes my chances of drawing the blank, which would be fantastic. I don't. I miss it. And that rack lead is pretty poor, but I have nearly a 200-point lead. The remaining tiles not hugely bingo-y. A lot of high-scoring tiles, but Row provides the potential for a big score without a bingo, especially if the Q gets doubled and C-lift gets tripled. That could easily be a 100-point play. Now, should I be thinking about obstructing that? 9 tiles in the bag. Well, my opponent has decided to obstruct it, which is fine by me. It's not eliminated, but the scoring potential is massively reduced because all of the H's have gone, so it's not going to be possible to get the Q tripled. 7 minutes on my clock. 6 tiles left. If my opponent played cert, that means he doesn't have the blank, and he was drawing 3 from 9, so there's a 2/3 chance that the blank is in the bag. Although not massively useful, I would need an E and the blank. Anyway, what can I do with this rack? Can I play off 5 tiles? I don't have many vowels, just the O, so I'm looking around on the board, 4 vowels. Not really seeing any. I could play Gov, but it would be nice to play off more tiles. FUV are a particularly unpleasant triple of tiles to have. So it would be certainly nice to play off at least 2 of them, which Gov does achieve. I would have that full through an A. I'm just looking in column 8 to see if I've got anything down onto HI. Can't see anything. So what about playing in column 10? My F can go in front of double A. 5 minutes on my clock. That's not going to work out. I've got nothing. Well, just nothing which is going to play there. I've got love on my rack. Can't see anywhere to play that. Gov is 27 points. It just doesn't feel optimal. I could play Vuln, which does have some merit, except it doesn't, because the Q could get doubled and the blank used as an S for revs, and it's only 15 points. 4 minutes on my clock. I'm going to go with Gov. 21. 5 consonants. 5 vowels in the bag. I think it's got to be worth playing off more tiles. So, what about Vuln here, which is playing off 4 tiles? It's taking out a bingo lane. It's providing a floating vowel in case I am short of vowels next turn. And it's turning over more tiles than Gov, twice as many tiles. I'm going with this. No blank. And the remaining tile's pretty bingo-y, so Vuln could have stopped my opponent from bingoing. I've just seen that I think I had the P last go, which is a hook for urine, and I didn't consider that. So I may have had a move in column 3. I've got Q and U, and fortunately I've got an E as well. Right, I can see what my opponent's got. EMN blank. He will be going out next go. Because, what can he do? Well, he could play Ment and Rem. And he could play Meanie and Ed. So he certainly is going out. I've got 3 minutes. I've got one play to make. I could play Quep and Power. Queem onto an E. 23 points for Quep and Power. Just wondering if my opponent can... Well, he can play Mies and Sealift. Does that need blocking? Less than 50 points, but I then have a second go, so I don't think that's going to be best for my opponent. I don't think I should block that. And I can't see a way of blocking it and scoring well. I've got QI. So at the moment, all I've seen is Quep. 2 minutes on my clock. Do I have any other Q plays? I don't think I do. And I don't think this provides anything massive for my opponent, so I'm going with it. My opponent may choose to play MES and C-lifts, in which case I could play FUM, for example, to get rid of the F and the M. Wow, that went fast. Not sure what that strange sound was at the end of the game. I don't think I've heard that before. So, oh well, maybe it was my opponent slamming the door as he left, because he's no longer on the site. But the final score, 367 to my opponent, 508 to me, a winning margin of 141 points. So a huge win. Let's see what I missed. It was my opponent to go first. He played urine, and this was my rack. Okay, well, good to see no scores above the mid-20s. I played Oxo, which was in the mix, and I think is fine. Opponent's rack. No bingo there. Plays Eth. Wow, and look at that. Again, nothing massive. So, zig or zag? Well, the I goes quite nicely with the K, so ordinarily the A better, possibly the I better. I'm not sure. Opponent's got rainbows through an N, no bingo, plays over. So, I thought about Qataris, E6. Oh, wow, look at that. I didn't consider row E. Qataris making Ozone for 89 was the best. Instead, I played Matokes for 3 fewer points. Not a huge difference between those, but always nice to spot candidate bingos, and I missed the row E spot. Horrible rack for my opponent. He plays Wit. Now, I also have a horrible rack. And I play Hour, which doesn't appear here. Okia H10. Possibly worth doing. AAU not great, but Hour didn't score very much, only 11, so I sacrificed 19 points to keep 3 vowels and a consonant. Tricky because AAU, not a nice rack leave. But look at my opponent, horrendous. Plays Wig. Did I miss a bingo here? No, fantastic. What I did miss was Hokia, which would have been pretty good. 39 points and a nice rack leave. So I played Do for a slightly better rack lead, but Hokia would have been better. Opponent's still struggling. Plays Orc. And I am unstruggling because this is a fantastic rack and I have a ton of bingos to choose between. And I play N darts for 78. Stander. I didn't want to do that because, well, it opens up column 15 for a big score. And look at that, Stander would have made Kier, which takes an S, and my opponent has an S. He plays Railers. Wow, so where's this being played? J14. Yesti and Orcs for 44. Interesting. I still prefer Airy, although it's 14 fewer points. EFST is going to be close to 14 points better than EF. Pretty sure about that. The S worth between 8 and 10 points, and Fest does have some synergy going on there. And I am taking out column 1. So I still like Irie. Opponent's rack plays Lived. And, well, although I wasn't guaranteed a bingo, this illustrates the bingoiness of the rack lead because I do indeed have a bingo. I have C Lift for 110. Opponent plays a Jar. And I pick up Ganoin for 82. So 9 tiles in the bag, including the blank. So this is where opponent plays Cert. Is that the right thing to do? Well, I suspect from his perspective the game is lost. So maybe he is thinking in terms of minimising the loss, and yeah, maybe Cert is good given that he doesn't have the Q either. I struggled with this rack and in the end went with Valm, but I played it in column 2. I could have played it in row F for more points, 3 more points. 7 more points. About the effects the same. Opponent plays Bipod. And now I have one last go. So I play Quep for 23. And that is a better play than Temp because of countback. So nothing better using the Q. So I think Quep is either the best play or very close to it. And then finally, opponent's goes out and could have got 7 more points. So pretty exciting stuff. Always good to get over 500 points and a huge bingo with C Lift, and then the agony for the rest of the game as to who got the blank. So all good stuff. I hope you enjoyed watching that, and I will see you next time.